if you're upset to the point where you have tears and stuff, that's perfectly fine. You know, there's no need to really hold that shit back. You know, just obviously take yourself somewhere where you feel safe and let yourself like have that moment kind of thing. Speaking of, I'm gonna have some water. I need some. Hold on. Tail stops wagging, falls asleep, snuggling wolf. Hush. No, if I can. Yeah, give it some more pats while you're sleeping, while I have some water. I have not drunk much water today. Like I said, between streams and stuff, I've been just trying to rest up as much as possible. Just to, like, alleviate my outside of stream stress that's, like, happening at the moment. So, because I'm, like, sleeping so much, I'm not drinking a lot of water. So I'm just trying to, like, make sure I remember to, like, actually, like, chug a little bit of a drink every so often. Head back. I need to. Well, I just don't want to cry, because when I do cry, I feel a lot weaker. I think more bad stuff usually has nothing to do about showing weakness.
Hello.
Everybody kind of generally has a feeling of weakness when they do cry. It's a sense of vulnerability. But the thing is, it's a natural thing that happens in a body. Like, you know, I don't know. It's really difficult because I know that you are a very strong person, Aweva, and you're also brought up to kind of be as strong as you can be. I know how your family are. But, I kind of just, I don't know, I kind of disagree with the whole, not disagree with your perspective of like feeling weak from crying and stuff like that, but I really think it would be nice if people didn't feel weak when they had to like express emotion that, you know, we all fucking feel and stuff. That's why I said, like, just make sure you get yourself somewhere where you feel comfortable being like emotionally vulnerable and stuff. Like, if you've got people in your life that are kind of like pieces of shit, don't go spend your time near them while you're like upset and stuff. It's probably not going to be the best experience being upset near them. And yeah, I can't really give good advice on that, unfortunately. I think we all know I have a really shit background. So yeah, I try not to delve too deep into that stuff, but I definitely haven't spent my life coping the best emotional way that I kind of now have. So I always feel very hypocritical when I give like advice on that stuff, because it's not how I responded at the time, as opposed to like how I've learned to deal with it, like, you know, another 20 years later down the track with like years of experience and stuff. So yeah, it's okay showing weakness. I just don't want to be in weakness. Yeah, the thing is, like, I always tend to find that, Jesus, what the fuck is? I tend to find that being like emotionally vulnerable actually requires strength. That's why I said, like, you know, with like how I encourage people to do therapy and stuff like that, right? A lot of people feel they're weakest when they have to ask for help. And usually it's around that time when you need the help the most that, you know, you kind of are in that vulnerable state. And yeah, that's why I don't really believe that somebody's being weak when they ask for help or need to seek out therapy and stuff like that, because it takes a lot of fucking courage to like go and say, hey, I'm not doing so well. I need help. Can I talk to somebody? You know? It's actually really fucking hard. And some people that have had like really well adjusted like upbringings and stuff might find it a little bit more easy to ask because they're more accustomed to asking when they need it. But most people generally struggle with the concept of saying I need help, or I can't handle this, or I'm not feeling okay. They're looking for understanding is why I asked. Yeah. No, I understand. I know that sounds like really funny. It's like you're looking for understanding. I'm like, yeah, no, I understand. But like, yeah, no, I get it. I do get it. Like this, I have several several members of my community and stuff like that that are in different stages of not okay right now, you know. And the main thing is, like, the hard thing for you is in your situation, it's probably one of your close friends that's making the situation difficult. You don't have that person to just go and talk to about it. But for most people, I would only say, you know, if you've got a close friend or family member or somebody that you can, you know, discuss things with, it would be good if you could, like, take a moment to, like, let them know what's going on and stuff. But I don't know if the person is your closest friend or if you have somebody else that could understand, that would hear you out stuff, because I think that would help you feel better. Like, you know, on Wednesday, how you said, like, just after talking about it for a little while and kind of coming to understand, like, everything, like, made you feel better and stuff, like that sort of thing. Oh, they're red because I can't wear them. Well, yeah, that one I can't either, but it's unidentified. It usually finding, like, a close friend or family member and stuff that you can kind of discuss things like this with can be a major help when you go through things, you know. See. Wait, all my gold. I have, like, no fucking room. I'm still not using any of the share ones. I'm still keeping that legit, but fucking hell. Well, I can't tell anybody, because if I tell my friends, no, I have a crush, things will get more uncomfortable. I figured that that was the case. That's why I was saying, like, I understood that, like, the friends are probably making this situation a bit harder. You probably also don't want to discuss that with, like, your family either. Which I can understand. You probably don't want them to be aware of it. Yeah. Just trying to think. Because, like, I do need to say every so often that, like, I am just a person. Like, I don't have, like, any kind of, like, I don't have all the answers, you know. I'm just a person streaming and stuff. So I understand, like, discussing things and whatnot, but I can't really help. But then your friends and stuff, like, I understand that telling one of them is not going to really help, but yeah. I think the main thing is, like, you probably feel very fucking alone about the whole situation, probably because you can't talk to your friends, which isn't helping. Like I said, in another sense, it is only, like, it's going to be a few weeks to a few months to, like, everything to fix itself up, emotionally kind of, like, level out and whatnot. But, yeah, I don't really have much, like, advice, realistically. I know I sound like I don't feel alone because I got to talk with you, which also helped a lot. I'm serious about that. I know. I understand that, but I also do need to still, like, remind people that, like, as much as I am here now and I was able to, like, talk through some of this stuff with you, I'm not a professional in any sense. Like, I'm just a person that's had, like, a bunch of experiences myself. Granted, I've had a lot more fucking negative experiences than the average person, but, like, still, I can only dwell on, like, what I have learnt myself. And a lot of what you're dealing with is not something that I've personally dealt with. So I'm a fish out of water for that kind of information. Yeah. True, but all I was really seeking for yesterday was to understand, being able to think, which I could not do without someone helping me a bit. I know. I'm just stretching, give me a minute. I understand that, but I also know that at some point in time, not necessarily yourself, but somebody may come to me with a topic that's too dark or too heavy for me. And I do need to, like, say every now and then that, like, I need to remind my community that I have recovered from an incredibly, like, shit time of like 2 years where I was basically like, you know, unable to function as a person, and to just be mindful of the topics that you come to discuss with me and stuff, you know. That's why I said, like, I greatly appreciate that you asked before just starting the conversation and stuff, because at least then I have some level of preparedness of there is a heavy conversation coming. People that are here may be able to say, okay, I'm not ready to hear something that's heavy, and have a chance to bow out if they want to and stuff as well. And if it is something that I can't really, like, if I can't cope with a conversation or something like that for my own mental health, it at least gives me a moment to be prepared to decline the conversation and stuff, you know. Because sometimes I've had it where, holy fuck, the depth of the topic that's come out of the blue, fucking hell, I was not in a mental place to deal with in that moment. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I am happy that you're feeling a bit better. It does make me happy that at least like some of what I have experienced in my life is able to help somebody else. But at the same time, like, I just hope that, like, anytime I say something, I really do hope that I'm not like making something worse, because I'm in no way a professional. So like what I say, like, it might have worked for me, but may not necessarily work for somebody else, you know? Well, I do feel a lot better than yesterday. Still not over it, but I can focus and calm myself down. The other thing too, if you've been trying to do some of the like breathing and what was the other one? There was breathing and also keeping hydrated, making sure you're eating and drinking and stuff, and getting rest and whatnot. Like, I know it's only like first couple of days in, but exercise, yes. I forgot. Immediately just threw that one in the bin. Just like, no, I don't need to remember that. That's funny. You been exercising? Because, yeah, I kind of think the other thing too is, you know, a really good thought is, you know how you said that, like, you know, when you're crying and stuff like that, you feel a bit vulnerable, you feel a bit weak and stuff like that. You know, as hard as it might be, you can always try to do like push-ups or jumping jacks or whatever you can think of that you can physically do whenever you are like in a crying like mood and stuff like that. Because the thing is, like, there is always going to be times in the future. It's actually really good to pick something like a physical activity that you might be able to replicate in any social situation, because then no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, you can stop and take care of yourself for like a couple of minutes. Like, for instance, my brother finds that cleaning is very soothing when he's upset. So whenever he's upset, the first thing he does is just cleans everything in his vicinity. It doesn't matter where he is, what he's doing, he'll just start tidying up and stuff. And that brings him a sense of calm and brings him back to feeling in control of himself, you know, which is fine. That works for him. It's very constructive and a positive use of it. I used to find that I would try my best to hold out as long as I could to get to the gym, because I'd go to the gym twice a day. I'd go in the morning and night before work. So I would go to gym and basically just like, I don't know, work through how I felt on the weights machines and stuff, which I actually tended to find if I was having a really bad day, I had a really great workout. And that was something that was also really constructive and positive for me. I'm gonna go back because I haven't got a full inventory. But yeah, something like that might also work. These are things that I also just kind of forget sometimes, because like it's not something I've thought of for a very long time. Also, since I had all of my injuries and stuff like that, I obviously can't go to gym and shit anymore. I don't think I'd be clear to work on any of the weights machines with the injuries and shit that I was like basically move forwards in my life with. But yeah, I tend to find like I can still Like, if I need to, I can still just stop and go for a walk or something, you know? That's still an option. And I know how much, like, you care about, like, the fitness and exercise stuff, too, so it might be a good idea. Whoa, shit. I almost put my mana in chat. I couldn't do that again if I wanted to. Let me go check my inventory. Yeah, crying for me is a bit complex. For me, because so people do say that crying relieves stress, but when I do cry, I usually get more negative emotions too. Yes, but it's also a thing of, like, if you don't cry often, like, let's say you don't have a reason to, like, shed tears often, right? Let's just say everything's mostly going okay. So then when you do cry, right, it should kind of also unfortunately remind you of, like, the other times when you also were crying and upset. That's, like, a little, like, bad part of it. Depending on what's going on too. The other thing too is if you're more kind of, like, expressive, letting yourself cry more frequently and stuff like that, you're less likely to remember the other times that you have had, like, you know, negativity things. The other thing too is that I honestly believe it's next to impossible not to think of other bad things when you're already in a bad space. Okay? It's kind of just your brain's thinking of something, it's going to go down a, like, train of line. Like, I tend to find that unless I play some kind of thing to listen to, every time I go for a shower, I basically walk down memory lane. So for me, going for a shower, unless I'm already thinking before I get in the shower, like, of something I'm working on or something I'm doing or whatever, like, I have too much free thought time to myself then. So yeah, I tend to think of, like, a lot of, like, the bad times of my life, and that sucks. But when the shower's over, it kind of leaves. It kind of stops. And I don't know if I've accidentally, like, trained myself to do that. Like, you know how, like, there's this thing you can do with, like, you ring a bell and you can give an animal a treat, and every time you ring a bell, the animal will expect to receive a treat, kind of thing. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens if I leave my brain unattended for too long. It sounds so fucking stupid, but yeah, it happens. The other thing too is understanding that it's kinda on some level sort of always gonna happen. Not like just the negative emotions and stuff, but it happens. The other thing too is this is also part of why I try to have a positive community and try to have a positive space that people can come to, because the thing is, like, who knows what the fuck's going on. Like, somebody could walk in here and be like, man, I'm having a bad day, and if I'm absolutely spazzing out over fucking Diablo cinematics and shit like that, like, it immediately just stops the thought process, you know? It takes their mind off whatever they were thinking about for a while. In best case scenarios, they might forget whatever they were deeply thinking about that wasn't happy. And worst case scenarios, they come back to it a couple of hours later after my stream. Who knows? But if I tell you about the things I used to cry about, it's unbelievable. Phoenix, what the fuck are you doing? My computer, stop sniffing it. Yeah, I saw you. Yeah. He looks so fucking sprung. I just looked down, he's smelling my computer for some fucking reason. Anyway, quite a lot when I had to leave from a birthday party. It's so embarrassing to think about. No, that's pretty normal. Especially if you're having fun or you're the first person to leave. That shit's awful. It's like, I have to leave. And, you know, living in a nice place, having a fun time is fine. Also, probably don't go listing out, like, all the things that you used to, like, cry about and stuff. But yeah. I don't know. I think the other thing too is, like I said, you know how I said that sometimes I feel like a little bit hypocritical because of the way I would have dealt with something in the past is very different than how I deal with something now. So, like, what I have been through and learnt lessons from that have grown me into the person that I am today, right, makes me react to things very differently than when I originally experienced those sort of scenarios, kind of thing. So, like, if I was to go through any of the things that I have in the past, but today, it wouldn't be the same kind of reaction, you know. It might even be, like, completely different. But that's just because, like, I've learnt and I've experienced a lot of things over time. That's why, like, I feel a bit weird about saying, like, oh, just do this or whatever, because I'm like, I understand that in the same scenario, I wouldn't have done that at that time, you know. Where the fuck have I got to go now? I've got to go out to Underground Passage in Dark Woods. I'm pretty sure I've got my quest out in the Dry Steppes, right? First person to leave. We were playing Pillows. I had to leave, and I was like, no. Yeah, no, that's normal. That's perfectly normal. It also sucks to be, like, hosting a party and, like, watch the last person leave. That always sucks, too. Mind you, as much as I'm an introvert and stuff like that, the people that I spend my time with and whatnot have always been people that, like, I enjoy spending time with. So, you know, when they have to leave, it's kind of like, ah. Oh. But then again, like, I don't know, probably an hour later, my introvert self is back to being like, oh, finally, nobody's around. Finally back to being alone. You know? Oh, through all the brave. I forgot that there was more magical, like, difficult ones in Nightmare and whatnot. I like the fact that it's, like, a little bit harder, because this is kind of more what I remember. Hey, Paco's Modern Life. Welcome in. I have to ask, is that, like, a wordplay on, like, Rocco's Modern Life? It's probably not, but I kind of, like, secretly hope that it is. So I used to like Rocco's Modern Life. It's an older TV show. I actually don't know that many people that actually fucking remember it. It is? Nice. Yeah, welcome in. I fucking loved Rocco's Modern Life. As, like, sometimes weird and sick as it could be and stuff. Fucking hell. And spunky. Good shit. I actually just like the intro the most, probably. But, yeah, what are you up to tonight? Oh, shit. Fuck. Hold on. Actually getting pretty hurt there. I think my helper died a while ago and I kind of just didn't notice. But to be fair, that happens every so often. It was like earlier when I was running around, I forgot to bring out my Valkyrie and I'm like, oh, I died. Why did I die? And then I realized I had no helpers at all. And I'm like, yeah, no, that checks out. I'll have to go back into town in a minute, I think. I don't think I've got full inventory. Fucking hold that. I don't. I do have a full inventory. I can't pick up that. I put that, and if I use that and that. Hold up. Use that. I see an extra spot. I could do this. There we go. Fuck yeah. It's getting into the into all the Diablo 2 streams for new season. Oh yeah, no, I'm not playing any of the seasonal stuff, but yeah. No, I get it. I'm doing a nostalgia playthrough. So I used to play Diablo, like, I don't know, 20-something years ago. I was like 12. And I really fucking love the game. I love the game so fucking much. But I just recently got given the Resurrected. And I haven't, like, this is now onto Nightmare. So obviously I've just finished, like, the first, like, normal and stuff. But I'm trying to play it the exact same way I did when I was 12. So, yeah, it's been so fun. I'm doing all the same sort of shit that I would have done back then. It's fantastic. I'm still into all the Diablo 2 streams. The nostalgia kick coming back to me too. Yeah, look, the cinematics, the sounds, like, this is the biggest thing. That noise. And also, let me go pick up a charm. Hold on. I have to do this at least once a week because otherwise I can't deal with it. Like, that just sounds so great to me. And there's just like all the sounds in here. I love it so much. The thing is, like, I'm so used to just playing like this because I've played like this for so long. But you know, this is Nightmare by this point, so I'm kind of like adjusted and stuff. It's like glittering prizes. Let's see, get my person back before I forget. She's like 10 grand now. I'm still trying to take her right through to hell if I can. But the remaster, yeah. Look, the cinematics and stuff have been great so far. I've been kind of like, I don't know, getting overwhelmed with some of it. Some of it, I'm just not ready for experiencing all the fucking emotions I would have had the first time I ever played this game. That's the other thing too, is because I'm playing it the exact same way as like 12-year-old me. I'm having a ball. Because obviously, like, in the many years that it's been out, I've been playing different characters many different ways and all sorts of stuff, right? But this is just, I've got a flawless skull already. I've kind of just got to a point where, like, I do love playing Diablo. It's my favorite game, but nothing has brought me as much joy as this playthrough, honestly. It really hasn't. Like, I'm doing the same stuff, like I'm exploring the entire map, I'm picking up everything. My stats give people mental breakdowns because everything's statted the same. Like, you know how you get 5 stats? I'm putting 1 into every one of these exactly the same way I did when I was a kid. So I'm putting 1 into each of these, and then the 5th one I put into next one, then the next one down, and all that sort of stuff. And I've got like my tree and stuff. At the moment, I'm trying to map this out to be all level 4. Like, yeah, I'm just having a great time with it. It's so good. Oh, challenge is like 95% complete. The poor moves while asleep. Viking, I think your poor moved into the... You tossed some stars my way while you're asleep. It's crazy. That's the first thing that Vikings accidentally, like, nudged in, like, the channel points and stuff. I have a community challenge going at the moment because I play 7 Days to Die on Mondays and stuff, right? But I'm playing it at the moment with the integration so that people can mess with my game while I'm, like, busy building and shit. And the whole point with the disable the progressive spawning is that if that comes off, people can spawn anything like bears and lions or fucking packs of bears and all sorts of shit. Just anytime I walk outside, if you guys got enough points for it, anything's open to getting spawned. It also goes the other way too. People can spawn in any kind of help and stuff then too. But yeah, we just kind of like, we were short a couple of days because I didn't have internet for 2 days. 2 days of like the stream, you know, so we're kind of at 95%. That's pretty good. But I've got tonight and Friday, and I think you can still redeem stuff on Saturday too, as long as I'm live. So, yeah. I think that's how that shit works. It's my first community challenge, so it's pretty cool that we're like so far along, and I've kind of like gauged it about right by the look of it. About right. Still saving points for something special. I'm curious what you define as something special, Waver. Because, like, I even, like, brought in a alternate avatar form that is compatible with, like, all the different hair colors and outfits and stuff, and has its own variations and shit. And I think at the moment everybody's got, like, no fucking channel points because of the community challenge. So nobody can redeem it, which is kind of funny. But,